I think there are two reasons. Obviously, because there's almost no growth in the EU and especially in the Eurozone. The European Commission has now just reduced its forecast for GDP growth of this year to 0.8%. And without a serious recovery, I think there will be no new jobs. And the second reason is because many governments still shy away from labor market reforms. Others are just now beginning to implement some of those, and but even then, these take time to have an effect on labor demand. And so the problem is not only due to the economic crisis in the periphery of the Eurozone. If you look at the figures already before the introduction of the euro, you had youth unemployment in Spain of around 40%. And in Greece of around 30%. So there has long been a structural problem in these labor markets, and that still needs to be addressed. Well, in a way, each country will have to find its own way to deal with it. But there are 3 points that I think apply to most. First is the key is to open labor markets for newcomers, for young people, by less protecting the insiders. And that might imply to reduce dismissal, protection, and minimum wages for young job seekers. Second, another way would be to offer on-the-job training for young people, and the German apprenticeship system might then be a model for these other countries. And a third option is to have a true European labor market with much more mobility. Youth unemployment is not the same all over Europe, especially in Germany and in Austria. The levels are rather low. And there's increasing demand for skilled young labor. And one can already see that something is happening. There's so many people, young people from Spain and Greece and Portugal, now trying to learn German, which is not easy to learn, but to also find jobs where they are. And at least this is, I think, a good thing. The danger is that there will be kind of no future generation with all its frustrations. And this can turn into either resignation or political radicalization. So the economic and the political dimensions are both quite important. You see so many young people now, even with academic degrees, that have no jobs, are unable to live on their own. They're somehow forced to live at their parents' place, and they must be really frustrated. And one can also see all over Europe that young voters really turn away from established parties and vote for radical alternatives, both on the left and on the right. And these political movements promise very easy solutions, even more protectionism and even more government spending. And therefore, in the end, I think the young generation might end up with too little income and lots of debt, public debt and private debt. So both economically and politically, this can become very dangerous.